Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody watching on the replay. We're going to take a few minutes here to see who is going to hop on as far as the live stream itself goes. And then we're going to get into things today. I have become increasingly curious about 3i Atlas and what it is that's going on with this gorgeous comet, this interstellar comet, as some are calling it. Others are calling it a ship. Many are calling it a Lyran ship, which I find very interesting and I resonate with. But we're going to see. We're going to see what 3i Atlas has to share with us. We're going to see what perhaps its purpose is or its impact upon the collective as we are moving through this incredibly powerful time that we are in right now. This time after the 999 portal and the eclipse gateway that we just experienced, this massive turning point, you might call it, in collective consciousness, as these timelines are splitting once more and becoming more pronounced. We're going to see what wisdom the cosmos have to offer. So I'm going to wait for a few people to hop on here. I will do my best to timestamp for those finding the replay when it is that we really get into the cards and get into channeling. Hello, Annika. There's beautiful Annika and Ty. Ty was with me the other day. We did an impromptu live stream on TikTok. Anybody who doesn't follow me on TikTok, I am probably going to be getting more active over there. It is more organic in the ways that you can actually have reach, that you can actually grow your platform there. It's just a better, it's a better opportunity as far as continuing to reach people. And it has its own energy. I do enjoy TikTok. So I'm going to be doing more stuff on there. I would recommend anybody who can and is open to follow me there as well, so that you do catch some of those impromptu live streams. I was doing for a while, some people might remember, like the simultaneous live streams on TikTok and YouTube, but it was too distracting. It was too difficult. And the energies of the two different platforms are just so different. And I didn't feel like it was working out doing both at the same time. So I'm probably not going to be going back to doing that, but I may be doing more impromptu stuff over there. Spirit just kind of guided me in that direction. And it was funny because the live stream, Ty, you might find this interesting. It didn't save. Like, they record the live stream so that you can go and cut clips from them, but it was completely unintelligible. There was no sound for most of it, or it was like sped up. So you heard me talking a million miles a minute faster than I am right now, right? Than I naturally do. So, it was completely unusable. So the messages were for the people who were on that stream. Spirit told me that somebody specifically was going to need messages that I was going to be channeling on there. And we did talk a little bit about 3i Atlas during that, and some really cool stuff came through. Spirit was showing me this energy of it literally like dissolving layers of density. So I really want to dig more deeply into that. And that aligned with some other things that I don't watch a lot of stuff. I've been particularly trying not to watch too much about 3i Atlas because I don't want to get clogged up with other people's opinions. There is this one woman who claims to be from the Lyran High Council or whatever, who's been doing some interesting messages. So I've been watching her messages. I find her fascinating. But other than that, and Stephen Burns, of course, him and Pam Gregory, I watched a couple of things that they did together on 3i Atlas. And then, of course, he's my cosmic weatherman, you know, so I love it. I was just checking in with him to see what else was going on with like the cosmic space weather before the live stream. And somebody had just commented something like, "We can't understand anything that you're saying, but we love watching you, Stefan." And that's basically how I feel even sometimes. I'm just like, what are we saying right now? It's so much scientific. I almost said scientific mumbo jumbo. I guess it's not mumbo jumbo, right? Many people would argue what I talk about is mumbo jumbo, right? But like, to me, I was just like, oh my God, I can't. You know, I make it about halfway through one of his videos and then I'm like, my brain can't absorb anymore. So I've had people tell me, like people I know in my personal life who've watched some of the videos, like the astrological videos, that that's how they feel when they watch me talk about astrology. So, I mean, I get it. But he was talking about, we just had a huge geomagnetic storm that we went through. And then he was talking about the 2 massive earthquakes. There was one in Indonesia around Bali, and there was one in, where was the other one, Dee? I think you were just talking about it. Was it in the Philippines? Where they had that second massive earthquake. It was like 6.6, 6.9. Oh, Galactic Elf, I have not listened to Elizabeth April talk about 3i Atlas yet. I think I wanted to tap in. I think that was one of the ones where I'm like, I want to tap into the energy myself more before I see what she has to say. But I'm definitely interested to hear, like, when I first heard about 3i Atlas, my friend Tommy told me about it. I was just like, that's ridiculous. It's not a spacecraft, right? They're just doing that to scare us, right? This is that, you know how they talked about the doomsday event that they were going to use to try to initiate the new world order and all of that, and or the reset or whatever it was that, you know, their little end games that they have. If you don't know who they are, go ahead and check out the what is it? What is the AI inverted matrix and how do we ascend out, or something with a similar title. We're not going to get into that in this video today. We're going to be delving more into 3i Atlas, but yeah. So where was I going with that? No, I've lost my place. We're talking about the earthquakes. What else were we talking about? Oh, yeah, I was just talking about my initial reaction to hearing about it. So I thought it was going to be like the false flag alien invasion thing or something like that. I thought that it was a distraction. I thought they were making a big deal about nothing. I was like, if this is this craft, like they really want us to know they're coming if they're exposing themselves when they're this far away, right? And it does appear that that may be, in fact, what is going on. And it may be, oh, this is Dee, I love you. This is interesting. So they're showing me the reason. There are reasons that they're showing themselves, right? It is about the activating of the human consciousness. But they're also showing me it's something about like approaching in the way that this object is approaching. It gradually begins to dissolve the layers of density in like a slow progressive level. Because like I was shown the other night on the TikTok live stream that I was telling you guys about, it's dissolving the layers of density within our being, within this planet. And many people have been talking about the heart chakra activation as well. So we're going to... Hi, Ploon, by the way. Hello, Michael. Haha, Michael says third eye Atlas. Is that what you were getting at there? Hold on. I just accidentally moved the screen there. Oh, do you haven't heard of 3i Atlas? Yes, this is an interstellar object headed, I think at one point, didn't they think it was going to like collide with Earth? But now they know that it's not going to. But it's essentially like the most massive interstellar object that I believe we've ever had come into our particular solar system. And it's moving incredibly fast. It's moving really, I think it was coming at Earth at one point, but now they're saying that it's not a threat to Earth. It was never a threat to Earth, right? Even if they were telling us right now that it is, it wouldn't be. It might be a threat to the old Earth, to the old indoctrinated systems that we're moving out of, but that's about it. So it's been the subject of a lot of controversy, I guess you could say. It's been the subject of a lot of speculation about what it is. I'm definitely feeling, I was very dismissive of it at first, but I'm feeling very much like it is very important and impactful. So that's why we're going to dig into this. We're going to unpack this today. I want to get, let's see here. A couple different decks down here for us to play with. Give me a second, guys. Let's see. Yep. Okay. And this deck I think we're going to start with here. So we're going to start with some tarot here. We're going to see. I do believe it is some type of alien. I'm feeling more compelled to think of it as a type of alien craft now. So we're going to find out. We're going to see what we can dig up on this. Clear. Yeah, right? Right, Ty? Like there's something intriguing about it. So let's see here. Asking my highest self to connect me to this energy of Three-Eye Atlas. What is going on here? Ooh. What is going on here? What is the purpose? What is your purpose? What do you want us to know? I was getting the sense of like some type of commander or something like that. So I do believe it is feeling like there is intelligent life upon this, what we would call a comet. Oh, that's interesting. They're saying it operates on different frequencies. Like it's operating or existing in multiple frequencies at once, which is fascinating. Like it's able to be perceived in many different forms. Oh, this is fascinating. They're saying that on one level, it almost is functioning sort of like a mirror, where it's revealing to us what's within our own hearts and minds. So it's like how we see it, what we see it as, is telling us a lot about our own internal world, about our own hearts, about it's reflecting back our own belief systems to us in a sense. So it's just like another level of that energy of how everything is a mirror. But they're saying it's all love. It's all done out of love. Oh, the love is so palpable. There's so much love. But that's going to be one of those things where you can only sense that which you are the vibration of, right? So people who are vibrating at fear, it's going to create more fear. People who are vibrating at the level of love, it's going to create more love. What else do you want us to know? It's here to break us out of our rut. Kind of like, I'm feeling like that sort of like shock factor almost. Like kind of like shaking humanity awake. I want to wait from this. And yes, D, some do believe that. Absolutely. Clear. And I'm not getting the sense they're coming to Earth, Elgato. I'm getting the sense that they're passing by in a way. But isn't that interesting, right? Some of us sense love, some sense destruction. Remember what they said about mirroring back to us. We're talking about Three-Eye Atlas, Alessandro. Hello, Sakis. Let's see. Let's pull from the Children of the Cosmos here. Okay, this is interesting. So what I'm picking up on is this may not be a ship itself. This may be a piece of a planet from another system, from another galaxy. But the piece of the planet itself carries the frequency of that place. Interesting. We have cycles of death and rebirth and multidimensional coming through. So they're here. And it's almost like the way that it's being shown to me right now when I say they're here is that this piece of their planet carries their consciousness of the beings that inhabited that planet. And so on other planets outside of Earth, a lot of times there's only one or two races that actually live upon that planet. There's not many. Like Earth is a melting pot of different races, right? It's a matrix. And that allows all these different races to incarnate on here together. Most planets can only support one or two different forms of life. And so their consciousness becomes very enmeshed with the planet itself because there's such a deep connection there. So this piece of their planet is able to carry with it their consciousness as well as the frequency, if that makes sense. They're here to help us. They're coming, it's no mistake, right? They're coming during this 9-year, the year of the snake, death and rebirth, 999 portal, right? When was it that Three-Eye Atlas was first found? Was it in August? Somebody let me know if they can remember when we first recognized it. All right. So it's here to help us through this powerful shift, this powerful transformation, to help with the rebirthing of the planet. It almost, in a sense, I know this is strange to say, it almost feels like it's helping with the sorting of the planet too. And what I mean by that is the timelines, right? What people are choosing. Because like I said, I actually didn't say that yet, I don't think. But it feels like it's an amplifying energy. And like they said, they're mirroring back to us what exists within us. So they're kind of amplifying that energy and helping to, it's like the analogy that I keep thinking of is like the, Michael says it was July 1st. Is like the sorting hat in Harry Potter. How you put the hat on your head and it sorts you into the different house. It kind of goes through your mind, what's in your mind, what's in your heart. And it assigns you to a different house, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw. Big Harry Potter fan. It's been many years since I've read the books, but I've read them all at least like 5 times. So yeah, it's almost like a sorting hat in its own sense, which is really interesting. And it is activating our light bodies. It's this comet, this ship, this whatever you want to call it, this piece of this planet, as I was kind of being shown here. It is reminding us of our own multidimensional nature. I feel like it came from, so within this galaxy, this, whatever you want to call this AI virus, right? This virus that has infected the minds of people, that has infected entire planets, entire sections of planets, right? We are on a quarantined section of Earth right now that has been infected by this virus. This virus has not penetrated whatever this system, this star system is, where 3i Atlas comes from. It has not been infected by the Archon virus, the AI virus, whatever you want to call it. So that's really interesting. So it's bringing that purity of energy into this star system. And it's helping, it's like that purity is helping to cleanse this star system. And irradiate the Archon. Eradicate, that's what I meant to say, eradicate. Eradicate the artificial. Or sort of like we said with the sorting, like sort it into its own separate area, its own separate energy. You know what I mean? And people get to choose whether they want to sort themselves with the organic or the inorganic. But everything is being sorted. It's being separated. Creation energy. What is trying to be birthed through you? Yeah, this is the rebirthing of Mother Earth that we're talking about here. This is beautiful. A lot of purple here. Deep purple, royal purple. That is the color of royalty. Right? So these could be this could be a royal race. As far as galactic races go. Like we said, many people connected them to the Lyrans. The Lyrans are present in this star system though. And this is a different star system. So I don't know. They may have a connection to the Lyrans, but I'm feeling kind of beyond that even. But it's here to hasten the end of the old and the beginning of the new. Excuse me. We've got transcending duality and unity consciousness. All right, you can't make this up. So this is they're coming here to help us transcend duality. Okay? And that is a hallmark of this, not just this third dimension, but honestly of this galaxy, right? We are a galaxy of duality, dark and light, good and bad. So it's almost like 3i Atlas is here to help us move beyond those limiting paradigms, right? Red versus blue, left versus right, me versus you. To bring us all together, to dissolve and transcend. And we've talked about this before on here, the polarization, right? And how before everything merges back together, it becomes highly distinguished, right? Think about like Aquarius energy and then Pisces energy. Aquarius energy, the beginning of that journey, right? Your age of Aquarius, as we're moving into, right? Aquarius energy. Knowing who I am, right? Distinguishing myself as an individual, spark of creation. And then as Aquarius energy continues, seeing how my individual spark blends into the greater tapestry, that we are weaving together, finding my part within the whole, but still as a distinctive entity or energy within the whole. And then the Pisces energy is what melds it all back together. So there's this energy here of like assisting us in that process of, and we're in the thick of it, right? The sides have never been more distinguished, right? People have never been, at least in, I think, modern times, as radically polarized as they are right now. From that place, there is nothing for that energy to do except eventually erupt and collapse back in on itself. And that's when we merge back as that unity consciousness. So we are, I love this, because if you read on the bottoms of this cards, it says we are transcending duality and merging into oneness. And then the next card says, we are one. See the divine in everything and everyone. So there's this energy of transcending the duality game, transcending the polarity game, seeing everything as a creation of source, seeing the value in everything that exists, in every opposing viewpoint, but also seeing the futility in the opposition, if that makes any sense. Finding common ground. And all these, this is weird, the word density triggers came to me. I don't know why that's the word that was coming through. All these density triggers are being dissolved. So this would be like the wounds maybe within us that trigger our fear response, that trigger that density to come back up within us. Like those being removed, being healed. Let me feel into this. And I was called to pick up isn't this the most gorgeous amethyst color for amethyst you've ever seen? This was a Christmas gift. So beautiful. Let me feel into this for a minute here. It's just an expansion of consciousness and an ability as these density triggers get removed, an increasing ability for people to connect with each other, to find common ground, to tap into their hearts, to experience compassion again for one another. Let's see what else wants to come through here. Anything else? All right, we're going to go with the work your light, I think. Okay, what do we got here? Healing past timelines. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll take that one. Starseed, we're all children of the cosmos. A reminder of that, perhaps. Synchronicity increasing, but see how that's like a portal to another galaxy? They're providing a portal to even deeper experiences of ourselves. And what I mean by that is there are many on this planet who aren't even from this galaxy. And I say from, right, because we're all from source originally, right? But there's this energy of many who are from, like, when you try to figure out where you come from, right? There's nothing to compare it to because we don't have names for these races. I think that's why I'm not being given a name for this planet that 3i Atlas was a part of, because it wouldn't mean anything to us. right? Because we have no conception. But it's like reminding us of the unfathomable depths of our soul, of our beingness, of how far through time and space we go, of how infinite we really are. But there's a difference here, because there's the energy when you look up at the sky and you think about yourself as this little speck on this planet, when you see how vast the sky is, right? And you feel insignificant. But there's an energy here of, it's the idea isn't to make us feel insignificant. It's to make us, to help us to understand how truly significant and magnificent we are. I feel like the synchronicities, I feel like all of those little God moments, the glitches in the matrix, those are going to be more and more apparent as this energy keeps coming through. We got the Healing Past Timelines card, which specifically mentions Atlantis. So healing those Atlantean timelines, we are on a repeat cycle of Atlantis right now. So there's something with Three-Eye Atlas where it's helping us to tap into those old timelines. It's opening up more soul memories of that lifetime as well as other lifetimes and our galactic lineage. It's activating within our DNA the memories, the cellular codes. But most importantly, the memories that we've forgotten. Everything is encoded within our DNA. Everything that we ever have been or ever will be. All right. It's kind of like if you think about the energy of like when people talk about the Akashic records, that's all encoded in our DNA. Our own personal Akashic records, but it's more than that. It's like everything that we have ever been, all of our potential, all of our soul memories, it's all there. So Three-Eye Atlas is activating more of that energy within each and every single one of us, more of those memories that are needed at this time so that we don't repeat the same cycle, so that we don't end up with the same fate. I love this wisdom from the stars. Within you is all the wisdom from your many lifetimes around the cosmos. Just what we were talking about. See the spaceships beaming down the light onto Earth? Is that fucking hilarious? Now, here's the thing. People talking about, and we've got the discernment card here too. They're helping us with this. This is the most important thing. If there's one thing that we can become a master of that will serve us in this lifetime, it is discernment. Because there is so much falsity. We can't, with the technology today, we can't even tell like whether something's real or not, right? Although my friend and I had this conversation once and I asked him like, could you ever though? You know what I mean? But it's becoming that much more apparent that we can't tell the difference. It's becoming that much sneakier. All right. There is so much information. It's like before when we were younger, right? The only information we got was the information we were spoon-fed from the media. Then with the internet and with everything that has transpired over the last 20, 30, I'm not sure, I've sucked with time, but however many years, right? We went from having almost no information available to us to having an overload of information. And sometimes when you have an overload of information, it's similar to not having any information at all, because it's like it all blocks itself out because we just cannot perceive of the level of data that we're being inundated with. Right? So it's like people don't know what to believe. And this is an opportunity to really begin to fine-tune our discernment. And there have been, there is one person in the comments I know who has a very dark outlook as to Three-Eye Atlas and what it is. And this is what I'm going to say as far as all that's concerned. Like, pay attention. If we receive communication from these beings, right? They're offering to be our savior. They're telling us that they're like, beam me up, Scotty kind of energy, right? We will save you. We will rescue you. That's when you know to be wary. All right, that's when you know to use discernment. Is energy empowering you to be your own savior, or is it trying to be the savior, therefore causing you to be a victim or a subordinate to that energy? Is it empowering or disempowering? That's what we always want to look at. You know, so if I were channeling message right now and they were saying, just pray to us and we will beam you up and we'll rescue you from this wretched planet. Just pledge your allegiance to us and we'll come down and save humanity. Those are big red flags. All right. Those are the kind of red flags that we do not overlook. All right. But that's not what I'm feeling. That's not what this energy, at least what I'm tapping into right now. But you want to be aware. You want to use your discernment there. But I feel like you see how this energy is coming up from her crown chakra. I feel like they're activating higher levels of discernment within us. Because one thing that a lot of people forget, people think that discernment is mental. It's not really. The lowest level of discernment happens on the linear mental level. Discernment is physical. You feel it in your body. It's emotional. It's intuitive. There are so many levels that discernment functions at. So we want to, it's like helping us to learn how to discern on all of these different levels of being. I feel like they have some messages for us from the Work Your Light deck. So we're going to tap into that now. And this is that energy of how they're helping us to let go if we choose. If we're willing to put down whatever the burdens that we're carrying. Clear. Yeah. No jumping on the ships, you guys. We don't need to do that. That is suspect. All right? That's a little sus. We're not going to be... And if they're inviting us up onto their mothership, that's when you know. No, no, no. Remember, we are the saviors that we've been waiting for. Gut instinct, discernment, absolutely D. What messages do you have for us, Three-Eye Atlas? I'm seeing like butterflies, like butterfly wings. Butterfly wings, almost like fairy wings, maybe. So we have align your life. So they're coming in to really help show us what isn't working. Because that's the first step to figuring out what will, right? They're also, it's like, and it's so funny, right? Because this is like this big galactic cosmic energy. But one of the messages that they have for us is the importance of grounding, the importance of connecting to this planet, meditating. They say, like, if you meditate with an open heart and an open mind, it's like they will transmit whatever it is that you individually need to know or understand, however it is that they are best able to assist you, they will do so if you reach out to them in meditation. Now remember, whenever we meditate and try to connect with anyone or anything, we invoke the love light within ourselves, right? Our love light bubble. We place ourselves in our Merkaba and we specify only beings of benevolence, of pure benevolence, all right? But you can connect with them. I did it the other night. It was actually really beautiful. Big heart-opening energy for me. Oh, isn't that interesting? So I'm feeling the heart opening. Michael said he's feeling the crown and third eye activations. It's, once again, it's giving us whatever it is that we need. Interesting. I feel as though, okay, this is beautiful. This is interesting. So their planet is a beautiful, gentle, very connected. When we talk about like ancient Lemuria, for instance, that's like the energy of the planet that they come from. The planet that 3i Atlas is a piece of. And so it's bringing with it that reminder of how to be one with nature, of how to be interconnected, of how to live in conscious community, in that state of oneness with reverence and respect for all. That's the energy. And it's really here to assist the highly sensitive and the empaths. It's like what they're saying is, we know that our energy is powerful, and we know that it can be very jarring to the nervous system if you're not really rooted and grounded. So they want those of us who are highly sensitive energetically, physically, to make sure that we are grounding, to make sure that we're in a place where we're able to receive that energy without it like short-circuiting us, so to speak. And that's the advice I just gave about meditating, grounding, Fox. That's great energy for overthinking right there as well. The best advice for overthinking is don't do it. Stop. Give yourself a little smack every time you start doing it. A gentle one, right? A loving one. Breathe. Start writing down your thoughts, right? Start meditating. Start writing down your thoughts. When you get the overthinking stream out on paper, it becomes a lot more clear, like the loops. And then you start really looking at, why am I allowing myself to continue going in these? Thinking is the most toxic thing that we can do. Honestly. Not just overthinking, just thinking in general. 9 times out of 10, our thoughts are either detrimental to our being, they're causing us stress, they're causing us frustration, or they're just repetitive programs that are not doing us any favors. All right, so I try not to think as much as possible. I don't try too hard, because it's like telling people don't think about a purple elephant. Whatever you do, don't think about purple elephants. What are you going to do when I say that? You know, so I'm not like trying too hard not to do it. It's just when I notice myself doing it, I try to distract myself with something else. Go for a walk. Focus on breathing. Listen to some music. You know what I mean? Do some studying. Am I successful? No, not all the time. You know what I mean? I'm human. That's the other thing, is we just have to accept that we are humans. But it's like sometimes, like what's coming through specifically, Fox, is also like, if you're overthinking a certain situation, like what do I do in this situation? Spirit's saying sometimes taking the action is what you need to do. So stop thinking about it and do it. Action is the greatest sort of medicine for overthinking. Oh, thank you. So, yes, coming back to this here. They know this energy is going to be intense for my sensitives, for the empaths. Make sure you're grounded. Make sure that you are supporting your nervous system. I think we've talked before about regulating your nervous system, looking up things to stimulate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is also the connector of our 2 brains, our minds and our guts. It's so important for bringing us back into that rest and digest mode, getting us out of that cranked up energy that causes all the stress and all the disease. So work with your vagus nerve, breathe, be out in nature as much as you can. Try not to overthink, right? And just know that these are really high frequency energies. And it's not just Three-Eye Atlas. There's so much going on. We had another comet that almost collided, or not collide. Yeah, I think it did almost collide with Earth. Was it called Swan or something? We've had a lot going on. I think there were like 2 other comets that are like floating around right now, and all the other just crazy astrology in general that we have going on. All right, we got the full moon coming up on the 6th, and we'll do a live stream about that hopefully next week, the full moon in Aries. That's big energy. All right, there's just so much happening. So it's not just Three-Eye Atlas, but this is playing a big role in this. And a lot of people are having difficulty sleeping right now. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. Insomnia, anxiety, nervousness, all of these different things. Hello, Culebra, by the way. Sending you much love. Sending Nex very much love as well. Just take care of yourselves. Understand this is a process. And they're also saying, like, don't like compare yourself to other people too, because everyone's experience is going to be different. Nobody's path is the same, right? This is not one size fits all. Somebody who is watching this or who is going to be watching this has been doing a lot of comparing. Like, why is this person at this point? Why are these people like okay and I'm not? Why this? Why that? First of all, why are you assuming that all these other people are doing okay? Because that's what they posted on social media? Because that's what you're being presented with? 90% of what you see on social media is not real. Christ, half the people on social media aren't even real now. You know what I mean? They're bots, they're AI. So don't judge yourself. Don't judge your insides by somebody else's outsides. Don't worry about, you know, say you sit down to meditate and you're like, I didn't feel anything. That's okay. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again the day after that. Eventually you will. You know, for some reason, like I'm being called to share about like when I first started practicing Reiki and different types of energy healing, Bell Vespita angel healing, which is another modality. I almost said mentality, another modality that I practice and teach. I was training with other people who were also gifted, and some who'd been sort of going down that pathway and working with my mentor that I was working with much longer than I had. And they would be seeing visions while they were giving people healing sessions. They would have all this stuff that they were picking up on. And I was like, dude, all I do is feel the energy in my hands. I don't see anything. I'm not getting any messages. I don't know what else is going on. And I felt so less than and just so discouraged by the fact that like, I just felt like they were so much more gifted than I was. And it's just that hadn't developed for me yet. I wasn't there yet. And that's okay. It's not a race. Eventually now, when I do sessions for people, I do have visions. I do see things sometimes. I get all kinds of downloads for them. All right. It took the time that it took. And that's okay. So whoever you are, who is watching this, wherever you are at in your spiritual journey is a perfect place to be for you. And if you want guidance, if you want assistance navigating that process, reach out to me. I offer one-on-one coaching. I do energy healing sessions. I teach energy healing modalities, astrology, tarot readings, you name it. Like there are so many different ways to work with me if you feel connected to me, if you feel drawn to my energy. Just know that you are right where you're supposed to be. Don't try to press the fast forward button. Enjoy the journey and let it evolve as it evolves. That's so weird. I kept seeing, it was just the way the light was moving in the corner, but it almost looked like angel lights or something in the corner there. I don't know. Trust what you're feeling too. Because I feel like some people that this message is for, it's like you're actually already receiving psychic input. You're already tapped into other dimensions. You're just not recognizing it. Because maybe it doesn't look the way you expected it to look. You know, like I expected to have clairaudience. When I heard people like receiving downloads, I thought they were physically hearing it all. And maybe some of them were. I don't hear like that. I don't hear actual voices. Part of it is because it kind of freaks me out. I'm going to be honest. I've asked for that gift to develop, and every time it starts, I stop it because it feels really, it just doesn't feel right to me. I'm not into it. So I receive knowings that kind of just drop into my brain, almost like they're my own thoughts. But when they drop in like that, I know they're coming from somewhere else. Right? I am clairaudient. I hear ringing, different tones of ringing. That's how clairaudience starts to open up for a lot of people. That started for me when the first time I received a Bell Vespita healing. Starts for different people at different times. It's different than tinnitus. Tinnitus is like a constant kind of ringing. This comes and goes depending on the frequencies, depending on when something important is being communicated. So let go of the ways that you thought your gifts were going to develop, what you thought they were going to look like, and what you think other people's look like. Because you don't really know. It's embrace however this path and this journey is going to open up and progress for you. I'm sending you so much love, Sophie. So much love. That's a hard place to be in. That's tough. Feel free to reach out if you want to connect more around that. Sometimes we're talking about this timeline split, right? We're talking about the sorting. Remember, we talked about 3i Atlas almost as like this sorting hat, sorting us into the different timelines based on our vibration. It's really hard when the people we love are sorting themselves into a different timeline. And we know, not only because we don't feel resonance with them anymore, but because it's like, even when we're with them, it's like there's like kind of like a wall between us, a barrier that exists between us. It's like we're there with each other, but we're really not. It's really hard to feel that sense of connection. It's almost like, we're like swimming in two different channels of energy. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, Plune. And sometimes we just have to separate our energy for a time. Sometimes we don't have to figure out the whole thing right away. We just know we need some space. And it's okay to take that space. Whatever that looks like. Because like the people that we spend the majority of our time around really influence our vibration. That's just a fact. And it's a hard fact sometimes. And it's an interesting one too, because I think that there are a lot of people who are in these relationships where it's like one person is kind of activated and the other person is not, or is less. And that's okay to a certain extent. I do believe that we're going to have, especially with, I believe it's 3i Atlas that's going to be hitting Mars or coming into really close contact with Mars here. That masculine energy is going to get shaken up. And I feel like that's going to be another point. I think that's coming up in the next couple months. If it didn't already happen, this collision with Mars. I think we're going to see more masculines beginning to wake up around that time. But sometimes the catalyst that they need isn't Mars hitting 3i or 3i Atlas hitting Mars, right? It's us standing our ground. It's us putting, saying like, I can't live like this anymore. It's the fear of losing us, or like realizing that if someone doesn't make a change, that's what's going to happen. I mean, I'll say with my son's father, that's what lit a fire under his ass. I mean, that's not necessarily giving that advice. I'm just saying, like, I had to leave in order for him to realize what he had, And there's a difference too between like just someone not being fully awakened and somebody who's like adamantly in that dark negative energy and stuck in that for quite some time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dear Elf, you're so interesting. I love you. Yeah, but like I said, we can look into that if you want some support in that process. You know, but sometimes it's just about deciding what we really want and need and presenting that to the other person and being like, can you at least work toward this, right? Is this something that you're willing to work towards? Or are you determined to just be stuck in your ways? All right. Got the no card on the bottom of the deck, interestingly enough. But this is about pausing, postponing. But look at the lightning here. Yeah, but so this is interesting. My focus, Sophie, is being drawn back to these two cards together. It's like, I think because those of us who are energetically sensitive are only going to be getting more energetically sensitive, it's coming to this point in time where, like, whatever is out of alignment for us that we are fighting to keep in our lives is going to get so uncomfortable that we're just not going to be able to function within it. Like, it will literally zap all of our strength, all of our energy, if we try to keep things, people, places, things in our lives that are out of alignment with us and where we're going. I know that's been an ongoing circumstance for a while, though. You know what I mean? I don't feel like this is the first time we've had that conversation. So, yeah, reach out to me. Reach out to me. We'll talk more about that. I know this is like a public forum. I'm sending you love. All right. What else do we need to know? I feel like that was pretty good as far as tapping into Three Eye Atlas's energy. Let's see if there's any activations they want us to be aware of here. Any more activations, I should say. What kind of addiction are we talking, John? Addiction is a consciousness. It's a frequency band. I say this speaking as someone who was addicted to heroin and other substances for many, many years, as well as other things. Many things, right? Still working through those addictions. It's a frequency band. We can also sometimes have entities that are attached to us, and those really kind of amplify the addictive energies and the difficulty removing ourselves from those frequencies. The raw Reiki entity removal is one of the services that I offer. Maybe look into that for a little bit of assistance with that. Also, get a community, get a support system. It's really, really hard to overcome addiction without a community and a support system and a purpose. That's why 12-step worked for me in the beginning. It gave me the built-in community and support system, and it gave me a purpose, which was helping other addicts stay clear. Now I just kind of do my own funky thing. I miss that community, though. I do. If I had more free time on my hands, I would go back, probably. But Spirit's got me fucking running in so many circles right now. Spirit gives me the strength I need to stay clean, at least in the most important ways that it needs to happen. You know, I still relapse back and have a cigarette here or there. You know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. But Aw, John. One of my closest friends in recovery actually was named John. He passed away several years ago now. I think about him all the time. I miss him the most. I think I've lost a lot of people. Lost, right? Nobody's ever really lost, but I had a lot of people transition to the other side, you could call it. That's the one that's the toughest one. It's a lot of, I know a lot of good people named John. It's a solid name, we'll put it that way. Clear. Never lost, exactly. Exactly. All right. Any activations? Yeah. Yeah. I'll message you after too. I will. I'm glad you're back on the live stream, so we missed you. Exactly, John. It is an illusion. The illusion of separation. Right? The greatest illusion and the greatest wound that illusion created. 3i Atlas. What are the final messages you have for us? What activations are you bringing forth or assisting us in moving through? Got the Pleiadian activation and the solar light upgrade, plus Arcturian light codes, and the Orion activation under that. Okay. And the Stellar Gateway activation, and the Heart Star Gate, and the Third Eye activation. Starbeam healing codes. Let's fucking go, okay? And then under that, we have something about the memories of Atlantis, right? Like we were talking about. This is just like boom, 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 okay? So I loved that some people were feeling that Lyran starship energy. But I'm really feeling this, like we said, this is coming from a different galaxy, right? It's a part of a planet. Ooh. Oh my God. So they're saying, like, imagine like a 12D Earth or beyond. The planet that 3i Atlas comes from, that it is a piece of, and the consciousness that it therefore carries, is like a version of Earth. You could compare it to something like Earth, but they're like way higher dimensional. And I'm almost feeling like 14, 16 density maybe. This particular galaxy, this particular universe, honestly, that we're a part of is 12, 13th density. But that's not as high as things go. This is an infinite multiverse. Okay? So this is like a high def version of Earth, you could say, in a sense. But within this, they are connected to all. Ooh, okay. I'm feeling like the seeders of the seeders of planet Earth. And what I mean by that is that the Lyrans are known to be the seeders of many of the species within our galaxy. Some say that Earth was seeded by the Lyrans as well as the Arcturians, the Pleiadians. We got both of their cards out here. We actually don't have the Lyrans, which is interesting. These are like the seeders that seeded them. Feel into that. That's big. So they carry, because they are the seeders, they carry energy of all these different star systems. And they're bringing through all these different potential activations. And like they said, it's going to be whatever it is that each person who taps into them specifically needs. And they're starting with this star being healing codes here, with breaking down, almost like gently wiping away those levels or layers of density. Bye, John. It was wonderful connecting with you. And hello, Amber. 333. Yes. I love it, Sophie. Right? So, oof. They are revealing so much, because remember, as that DNA is being activated, these cellular memories, these codes within us, it's literally like, so imagine that you were using a computer for years, however many years you've been alive, say, right? But you'd been using it the whole time without an instruction manual, without really knowing anything about it. Just like opening it up and stumbling through, trying to figure out the settings. Well, imagine if one day out of nowhere, the manual were dropped right in front of you, with all the cheat codes, all the shortcuts, all the history, everything you needed to know about that computer. Now imagine that you are that computer. As your DNA activates, that owner's manual is opening up. Those history books are opening up. You get to remember who you really are. You get to remember have access to the code of the software that you've been running. Yeah. No. This is amazing. This is amazing. We're going to start to really have revelations around different ways of doing things, different ways of approaching scenarios, situations, life. On October 21st, which I believe is that the start of Scorpio season? 21st? Let me see here. It's either that or we're just a couple days away. It's either a day before or after. Let's see here. The 22nd, the sun enters Scorpio. 21st is the new moon in Libra. And it appears that Neptune is then entering Pisces, is re-entering Pisces then too. So interesting. On the 22nd. So this is why I was feeling the 22nd and the 21st. So on the 21st, 3i Atlas is going to come into conjunction, meaning in the zodiac wheel, it is in alignment with the sun. And then on the 20s, and we have the new moon in Libra on that same day. So talk about a portal. Talk about a gateway opening. And then on the 22nd, Neptune enters Pisces during his retrograde, and the sun enters Scorpio. All right, so that is big, talking about the stellar gateway activation, this manifestation vortex that's opening up. Clear. New moon, that's going to be in Libra. And so being in Libra in the new moon, I believe that should be at the beginning degrees of Libra. So let me check that out. That would make it conjunct the supergalactic center as well. No, end of Libra, my bad. Sun's at the end of Libra. Yeah, obviously, because it's about to enter Scorpio. It's all right. We all have our moments. Yep. So other end though. So we're not with the supergalactic center. We're with the Shapley attractor. Ooh, so that's a fucking portal and a half, you guys. Shapley attractor, the most powerful known point in space. Much will be revealed during and around that new moon time, I do believe. Hello. Nice to see you, Dale. Glad to see you back with us again. Yes. Oh, we love you so much, Amber. I'm so happy you're here with us too. Let's see. Yeah. Confused, stumbling around a little bit, but never fully lost, right? Sky Dancer, hello from Wales. Magical Wales, I love it. All right. What else are we gonna do here, you guys? Let's pull a crystal card to close. We haven't done that in a little while. We're gonna pull a crystal card, and then for those who are desiring, we'll tap into 3i Atlas for a second and receive a transmission. They wanna give us a transmission. Clear. Hello, Jay. Hello, Sky Dancer. Oh, I just said hi to you from Wales. Got it. Thank you. I actually got this at a Bernie Sanders rally back in like 20, I don't know, whenever he ran for president. First or second time. Did he run twice? I think it was when he was running against Trump. I'm not sure. Yeah. No, he never got to. He should have run against Trump, but they gave the nomination to Hillary. That's right. So whenever all that was, I'm pretty sure that's when when I got this shirt. I used to be a big fan of Bernie Sanders. I still have some love for him. You know, I know a little bit more now. HRC was chosen, abso-fucking-lutely. I actually, and this is what I thought it was funny too. Well, we're not going to get deep into politics because we don't want to go down that whole rabbit hole. But I will say, I think it's funny how everyone acts like Trump was the first person to accuse the elections of being fixed, when me and a whole bunch of other Democrats were at the national convention protesting the fact that Hillary was made the nominee and it should have been Bernie Sanders, because we knew that that's who we voted for. So that was fixed. That was a big one. We were all very disappointed when he conceded to her in order to keep the peace. You know what I mean? Oh my God, that was a fabulous time to be alive, man, though. I'll tell you what. Seeing those, I think the lines to get in and vote for Bernie Sanders were the same size as the lines that they wouldn't show for the people at the Trump rallies. You know what I mean? Oh, when the bird landed on his podium. Yes, I do remember that. I'll tell you, during that time period, what was that, like 2016 or something? 2015, I used to, when I was having a bad day, I used to go, there were YouTube channels. There was like one called like Bernie Sanders Greatest Hits or something like that. And it was just clips of him in Congress just like losing his mind and chewing people out. And oh my God, it used to make me so happy listening to him. I'm like, get him, Bernie. Because he's passionate, you know? Does he take money from special donors and interests? Absolutely. Does he have like multiple mansions? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he does. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, you know, he was fighting in his own way for people, you know? He was doing it from comfort, but like there's no reason you have to live in squalor while you're trying to fucking help the masses. You know what I mean? I don't plan to. Oh yeah, we protested. We camped in New Jersey in the middle of the summer. It was brutal. It was so hot. The police were actually out handing out water bottles to the protesters because it was so hot, like scary hot during the daytime. It was still like 90 degrees at night in the woods in New Jersey. It was disgusting because the Democratic National Convention was in Philadelphia. They were marching. We missed the march, and I'm honestly glad because I don't know if I would have made it in that heat. You know, it was a big thing that everyone's conveniently forgotten about. You know what I mean? Exactly, Feral Elf. Why would success be a disqualifier? I mean, success in general, not. No. Taking money from big pharma and these special interest groups, yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. Like I said, we're not gonna get super into all of that, but I don't know. I've got a love for that man. I met him actually. I went to, I think it was a book signing for a book that he wrote. I can't even remember now, but I have a picture with him. And I remember I said something like, when I hugged him or whatever, and it was something like disillusioned about, you know, the fact that we had lost essentially. And I just remember he looked at me and he had this very resolute kind of look to his face. And he said something about like how you have to keep the faith or like never give up, keep fighting or something like that. Yeah. Disgusting. What is the job most Americans prefer, Jay asks. I think influencer or celebrity. Sports star. I think those are the jobs most Americans would prefer. Yeah. Oh, I love that feral elf. I had one on my old car. It was the one with like a peace sign on it. It's like all his name in rainbow colors. All right, so wanting to work with us as we're moving through this energy and perhaps also help connect us to 3i Atlas. We have aquamarine and celestial quartz, as well as turquoise, which I love there. And I'll mention jade. We'll give an honorable mention to jade as well. So let's see what aquamarine has to say. This is all about simplification. All right. So let's see here. I'll read this. So the Master Crystal Deva of Aquamarine is Aquamarel. And Aquamarel says, join with me. Let us light the expression of universal truth within you in the simplest of terms and allow clarity of your true path into action. Blessed being of infinite light and intention, with me your voice lights the timeless and universal halls of truth. I welcome you home in peace, for your action, universal perfection will arise. For from your action, let me start over. I welcome you home in peace, for from your action, universal perfection will arise, allowing you to see the joy in all that you do. Time is never wasted in God's work, and it is that fact that I can help you to see. As you are the hands of God, and all that you do in your vast reality becomes a sacred part of the whole. A new playground in which to play the song of simplicity. And let's see. It is the stone of simplification, allowing one to travel deep within and understand the complexities found there in simple terms that are practical in the world. It's a stone of courage and expression, activating trust and allowing the truth to be spoken. She allows a rapid response in all situations, stopping the mind before it interferes and makes everything complex. So essentially helps us to speak from the heart instead of the head, right? This action simplifies the world and allows the voice of spirit to be heard as a guiding light, even in the most mundane of activities. Aquamarine is the stone for public speakers and writers, allowing a highly fluid and ordered communication style with good word choice. With aquamarine, the connection to the higher self is enhanced and relevant. Past life information may be readily available via the newly stimulated, active, and cleansed throat chakra. So this is going to help with that past life recall, with that DNA activation and the remembrance of all the different iterations of you. Let's see. Aquamarine is a sacred stone to all the gods and goddesses of the ocean, opening communication with them. It is especially sacred to Nemu and Artemis, and has direct links to the Hindu god Ganesha, Ascended Master Saint Germain, and Archangel Raziel. And I'm feeling this energy of assisting with removing of obstacles, being that it's connected to Ganesha as well. Not just in the throw obstacles to communication, but obstacles to healing, obstacles to clarity, whatever it is that is being perceived as an obstacle. And I almost feel like it removes those obstacles by removing the illusion that an obstacle can exist at all. Aquamarine is a master crystal in the balancing of water in the human body, useful in fluid retention and a powerful remedy of the thymus gland. The presence of aquamarine today lets you know that it is time to take the most direct and simple path in whatever you are undertaking. The best way to deal with all that enters our life is quite simply fast. Deal with the small things while they are still small and do not allow the world or mind time to complicate the matter. Usually, aquamarine's pathways of action involve verbal communication. There is someone you probably need to speak directly with. Aquamarine also appears when the doors to much-needed gifts from other lifetimes are opened to us, or when the higher self needs you to sit and listen. Interesting. The affirmation is, in simplification, I manifest perfection. So if you're working to find your voice, if you need to have a difficult conversation, if you need to gain clarity, if you need to move through blocks, if you want to access past life memories, work with aquamarine. And now we're going to go to celestial quartz. This is one that I've been drawn to for quite some time. Angelic truth. The master crystal deva of celestial quartz is El. Isn't that interesting? El meaning light. I hear your steps at the door to the 11th temple. The circle of blue fire around you signals your readiness. Step into my flames of angelic truth. We will seek the path of your personal power in the world, then measure and purify its intention. Feel my blue flame of truth blanket you in a touch of initiation and welcome. Together now we tread the path of unified growth to preordained destiny. Join we will our angelic siblings and drink deeply of our blended light, power, wisdom, and love as one. Be free. Open child, cut away the debris of a physical life with the power of realization and embrace the solar angel that you came to earth to unveil and become. You will wear the crown of the eternal sun and realize the pulse of the universe runs in your will. Simply allow now and rest in truth. That's powerful. Whew. And there is a light language activation on this card for those who are ready to receive. Originally a gift from the angels to help us master personal power, this diverse form of quartz crystal is a mixture of the deep and light grays of smoky quartz and the whites and clarity of clear quartz. It rarely has one noticeable termination, with multiple points usually in many directions, and often all over its body, creating individual patterns and engravings that can be translated to teach the universal language of sacred geometry. Within the threefold flame, the angelic kingdom are the keepers of the flame of power. The Elohim and Davik are the keepers of the flame of wisdom, and we are the keepers of the flame of love. Celestial quartz is the crystal of angelic truth, which could be translated into the truth about one's personal power. For many people, this crystal is very confronting, as it provides such a pure and absolute view of the self. It shows the seeds and cores of fears, diseases, and one's shortcomings associated with use of power in the world. A good crystal for water cool for and then it puts in parentheses the question, a good crystal for the water cooler at work. Work with celestial quartz over time can anchor angelic characteristics into a person and via the crown chakra open one to angelic communication and a higher light frequency. Via its powerful action, celestial can help one to overcome emotional burdens and balance the mind to such a degree that it can deliver understanding of life purpose. Celestial quartz is potent in its action on the brain, where it stabilizes wave frequency, making it useful in epilepsy, schizophrenia, and where there is burned out brain tissue, especially due to drug abuse. Celestial quartz will harmonize imbalance between the higher glands in the brain. This is a sacred stone of ascended master Melchizedek and the Egyptian god Thoth, able to light up, to open light packets left by him, or pockets rather. No, it said packets, left by him all over the earth. It is also a special contact stone of Archangel Michael. So this is potent, this stone here. And we were just talking about drug abuse, right? Substance abuse, healing. And like another thing that's coming through surrounding that, if you were still, I don't know if they're still on the stream who was talking about that, but the brain gets damaged, right? It takes 2 years for the brain to heal. And honestly, I think it probably for some people takes longer than that. Some people, the brain never fully heals, depending on the substances used and the length of time, right? But minimum, it takes 2 years for the brain to, the circuitry within the brain to heal itself after stopping all drug use, okay? So I feel like celestial quartz can help with that healing process, help to open up those more positive neural pathways, to close down some of those old ones, to connect people with their own higher consciousness as well, and to help stabilize the brainwave frequencies as we're moving through all of the intensity of this time, right? With 3i Atlas, with everything else that's going on, right? Just the fucking solar flares, right? I think we started this live stream talking about the geomagnetic storms that just hit and the earthquakes that happened in their wake. So there's a lot that this crystal can do to help stabilize us. And also, like I said, connect us to our angelic roots, our angelic DNA, to help open up that and activate that angelic DNA and tap us into our personal power. We are the ones that we've been waiting for, right? We are the descendants of the archangels, the dragons, these powerful beings. If you trace your soul back far enough, you're going to find an archangel or a dragon. All right. So what else do we have here? If celestial quartz has come to you today, you have reached a time in life where you are ready to truthfully see where you place your personal power in the world. Ooh, here we go. That eclipse on the 22nd, or no, the 21st, on the day that 3i Atlas aligns with the earth, or with the sun rather, sorry. Okay, did I say eclipse? This feels kind of like an eclipse, a new moon, all right? New moon, sun, moon, and 3i Atlas. Holy shit, I didn't even think of that, you guys. Right, we're talking about how it's on the new moon's happening that day. That means the moon is aligned too. This means we have a new moon conjunct 3i Atlas on the 21st of October. This is going to be massive. Absolutely insane, all right? Conjunct also the Shapley attractor. New moon's going to be at 29 Libra. Shapley attractor is at 2 degrees of Scorpio, but it's a massive point that spans the final degrees of Libra and the early degrees of Scorpio. Right? It is the point, the most concentrated point of power in this galaxy. This is like, this new moon in Libra is going to be like a nuclear blast. Okay? I'm sorry, you guys. I know September was intense, right? The Pisces Virgo eclipses, the 999 portal, that was huge. Okay? But like, this energy just goes and goes, all right? We don't really get much of a breather in between all this stuff. So this is going to be, but think of everything we've talked about with 3i Atlas on this live stream. If you guys haven't seen any of it, rewatch this live stream. There's some really beautiful stuff that we channeled about 3i Atlas. This is such a good thing. This is so positive. Okay? It's going to be beautiful. A nuclear blast, but in a positive way. Seriously. This is going to be something. I am so excited for this. I love that I just figured that out with you all on this live stream. The full moon on the 6th is connected to this new moon. All right. They're along the same axis. We have the full moon in Aries and then the new moon in Libra. So we're already getting into this gateway of energy. Right. And then we got the 1010. Buckle up. This is like, D says, let the matrix reset commence. Oh, it's commenced, baby. It's commenced. This is what this is all about. This is, oh my God, you guys. Talk about the year of rebirth. We just had the closing. We just had the end, right? The completion with the 9-9, 10-10. Completion is, well, I guess some consider 10 to also be completion. But I consider it like a rebirthing energy, right? It's during Scorpio season. We got the Plutonic energy going. We got the number 10, the 1 representing the individual, the 0 representing spirit. Our will partnering with the will of the divine. And then we got the 11-11, the awakening code. Manifestation, major manifestation gateway continuing there. And the 12-12 bifurcation. 12-12-12-21 bifurcation. So. You thought you were going into 2026 as the same person you started out this year as? Oh, maybe you thought that because you're a totally different person this year than you were last year. Or the year before that. That's cute. No, we're going to keep going. Don't get too comfortable with any iteration of who you are. Because that will continue to change. All right? You guys, it is on. All right? Let me finish this. Let's finish this thought here before we... Cosmic purge like an enema. Yeah, pretty much. Cosmic enema. I like that. So let's see. What else did we miss here? So teaching us about our power. It says, in the coming days, observe your actions and those of the people around you. Remember, there should be a balance of incoming and outgoing energies where power is concerned. A lack of personal power usually results in one becoming a victim and losing love for self. An excess of personal power can become a corruption of the highest order, birthing an ego that can take the reins of life and may even believe that it is the spirit. Above all, know that Celestial Quartz is here to show you the truth. And the affirmation is, I own my personal power. And Annika, thank you for that donation. That's very sweet. I appreciate you so much. You're beautiful. I love you infinitely. Am I allowed? Can I like that? Oh, I can. Oh, look at that. I love you. I love all of you. You're so amazing. You really are. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing these revelations with me, for delving into 3i Atlas. Oh, that's right. It wants to give us a transmission still. So everybody who is desiring, go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Oh my God, I love the way you talk, Sky Dancer. Right up my alley there. It says, I am not even the same person as yesterday. It is rapid cosmic injection of transformation, minute by minute. There we go. Boom. All right. Everybody get comfy. Breathe into your heart space. Maybe place your hands over your heart or over your crown or by your sides, whatever feels comfortable for you. Setting that intention, placing each and every one of us within your beautiful Merkaba, feeling those beautiful spinning pyramids, that 8-pointed star surrounding your body, feeling your own beautiful love light energy, filling that Merkaba, knowing that you are completely safe, completely secure, knowing that this Merkaba will ensure that only the highest vibrational and most benevolent communications are able to interact with your field. Setting that connection now to connect, that intention rather, to connect to Three Eye Atlas in all of its benevolence, only receiving benevolent transmissions, the true benevolent essence of Three Eye Atlas. Breathing now deeply, slowly. Ready to receive whatever transmissions are for our highest and best good from within this sacred dome of light. Give to them anything you wish to release. Belief systems, perceived blocks, even entities, they can liberate you from all of it, alchemize it, return it to source. They can assist you in this process. As they continue to move closer to Earth, and as we move toward this powerful new moon portal on the 21st, 22nd, continue to work with them, continue to allow the density to be dissolved, to step deeper and deeper into your heart, to embrace the reactivation of this incredible technology, which is your DNA, which is your heart, your fully activated and aligned heart, your fully activated and aligned chakra system that connects you to all the dimensions of existence. Visualize, meditate upon your DNA. Allow it to speak to you, to whisper the secrets. Secret no more. You are the greatest technology that has ever been invented. Feel the power and the activation moving like lightning through your veins. The power of the I am, the power of source. Your pure creational power, pure possibility, pure remembrance. They also showed me, for those who, thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Giving thanks. Now continuing. They also showed me, for those, because they were showing me how they were assisting us with the opening up and activating of our DNA. And they showed me how those who received the, you know what, the voluntary or involuntary injections that were forced upon the public a few years ago now, which do interfere with your DNA and the opening and activating of your DNA. They showed that they can help dissolve that too. So if you want assistance with that, also if you want assistance with that, I can assist with that as well. We do that through aura hypnosis healing, so, and raw Reiki, but especially aura hypnosis healing. So please reach out to me as well, but they can assist with that. They were showing me just the dissolving of all the density, whatever layers of density exist. Clear the dissolving of the density and the activating of the DNA, the remembrance. Going right along with that I remember theme, right? All right, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Make sure that you kind of center back in, make sure that you're rooted in your Merkaba, that your aura is protected after potentially opening it up to receive any transmissions. And if you're still receiving, enjoy. Enjoy. I love you all so much, and I will see you, I'm imagining, next week. We're going to shoot for every Wednesday again. There may be some Wednesdays where we're not able to meet, but we're going to make it we're going to, aim for that moving forward. All right. Love you all. And also, I said earlier too, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok if you don't. Anybody who has TikTok. I go live on there. I went live on there the other night, and I may be going live on there again just sporadically in the future. And I post on there every day now. Just quick little videos. Sometimes I share clips of them on here. Sometimes I don't have time to do that. So definitely check that out as well if you are feeling guided to. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.